It's 6:19 a.m., deep in the Caribbean, roughly 140 miles north of Venezuela. The USS Gerald R. Ford cut through calm waters when two tiny dots appeared on the horizon, slicing toward the carrier like knives glinting in the sun. These weren't routine aircraft, they were fast, closing in with purpose. On deck, sailors paused mid-motion, the hum of distant engines breaking the morning stillness. Heat waves danced across the air as two Venezuelan K-8 attack jets surged just 2,000 feet above the ocean. Silent aggression with no warnings, no radio calls. They banked sharply across the carrier's bow in a show meant to intimidate, but the Ford held steady. From the bridge, the commanding officer scanned the scene through binoculars, calm and unshaken. "Maintain course," he said. One jet roared into a steep climb, afterburners flaring, smoke catching the dawn light like fire. The second followed, wings rocking, too close, too fast, dangerously low above a 100,000-ton nuclear carrier with radar that could track a tennis ball from 40 miles out. Down in the combat center, controllers studied every frame. Infrared screens revealed empty hardpoints, no weapons, no attack run, just a dangerous military dare. Dares are never harmless. One misstep could spark conflict with a global superpower. By 6:21, the jets veered back toward Venezuela, but the radar soon revealed a second pair approaching. Now 4 contacts were heading straight for the Ford strike group. The watch officer confirmed, no IFF response, no radio acknowledgement. Above deck, Air Wing 8 sprang into action. 2F divided by a -18E Super Hornets prepared for launch. Catapult crews poised, engines roaring as they streaked skyward to intercept. Their mission was clear: identify, shadow, and de-escalate if possible. The carrier's bridge monitored every move, issuing comm commands, positioning destroyers Mason and Thomas Hudner for protection. To the untrained eye, the Ford's stillness might seem like provocation, but this is decades of U.S. naval posture, unshaken by noise, unwavering in purpose. By 6:26, the Hornets were climbing through 15,000 feet. Viper 1, the lead pilot, saw 4 tight contacts on radar. Control confirmed, Venezuelan Kubernetes, rules of engagement defensive only. Below, the Ford and its destroyers formed a perfect diamond, radar and data feeds linking every aircraft to the carrier. At 6:28, the lead Kubernetes pierced thin clouds, cutting dangerously close to the Hornets. Voices crackled over radio, warnings met with defiance from the Venezuelans. The American pilots held course, recording every maneuver. Shadowing the Kubernetes like predators trailing reckless prey, the Hornets maintained distance, tracking formation shifts, every open hardpoint glinting in sunlight. A sharp bank from one Venezuelan jet brought it perilously close, just 200 meters from Viper 2. The Ford's combat center tracked every move with digital precision, distances shrinking to 6 miles from the carrier. All commands were calm. Standby monitor, do not engage BY 632. The 4 jets were within 12 miles, speed steady, radar and electronic warfare systems humming in quiet coordination. The destroyers tightened their screen, forming a protective steel wall. Flight deck crews moved with controlled urgency, ready for a second scramble. The carrier remained unshaken, a study in calm focus, every operator, pilot, and sailor executing their role flawlessly. No panic, only disciplined preparation, as tension hung thick over the Caribbean morning. This was routine, but in its very routine, there's something unnerving. Inside the Combat Information Center, calm voices cut through the quiet. Bridge combat, contacts now 8 miles and closing. The Ford's captain stepped closer to the console, eyes fixed on the radar glow. Maintain heading. Do not change speed. This wasn't stubbornness, it was doctrine. A U.S. carrier doesn't flinch under pressure. Every move matters. Every reaction sends a signal. If we respond to every jet that postures, the captain's words echoed across the bridge. The sea stops respecting the flag. Outside, the Venezuelan Kubernetes kept their approach, dipping low enough that their shadows shimmered across the waves. Then one of them did something daring. The lead jet rolled inverted at barely 1,000 feet and dove straight toward the carrier group. The second followed close behind, slicing through the sky like a knife. From the bridge, it looked reckless, an intimidation run gone far too extreme. Contacts were now within 5 miles, altitude dropping fast. Down below, the Phalanx CWIS turret tracked the lead aircraft automatically. Its 20mm barrel followed every movement with machine precision, faster than any human eye could blink. The only thing holding it from firing? Silence. Standby. In the sky, Viper 1 and Viper 2 angled their helmets toward the Venezuelans, cameras recording everything through their canopies. The American pilots could see each other's expressions. Tight jaws, hands gripping controls, eyes steely. Forward control, they're coming in hot. Range 1.2 miles. Copy. Hold your line. Do not escalate. The first K-8 thundered over the destroyer Mason, engines screaming, wake turbulence rippling across the ocean. The second passed Viper 2 with less than 600 feet of separation. A near miss. Calm, precise commands flowed over the comms. The Hornets did not react aggressively. No radar lags. No counter moves. They simply shadowed the Venezuelans like ghosts. On board, the cram system spun quietly, sensors locked but silent. For 10 seconds, the two sides hovered on the edge of disaster. One wrong maneuver and catastrophe was a heartbeat away. Then, almost anticlimactically, the Kubernetes pulled up, banking away as their engines faded toward the southern horizon. The sea fell quiet again, though nobody relaxed. By 6:37, the radar picture shifted. The Venezuelans peeled away, one heading east toward the mainland, the other lingering, circling like it wanted one last look. Bridge combat, contact 1 retreating. Contact 2 maintaining 9,000 feet. Copy. Maintain tracking, hold posture. Every camera, radar feed, and FLIR system stayed locked on the departing jets, recording every heat signature, flight path, and radio emission. From above, the Hornets kept their distance, shadowing but not engaging. Viper 1 to control, hostiles turning south. Speed decreasing. No visual weapons. Copy. Continue shadow. Do not pursue past 50 miles. Viper 1 watched the smaller jets fade into the hazy Caribbean horizon. Almost peaceful, save for the hum of engines. Then, a faint radar spike, a brief pulse. One Venezuelan jet had pinged the carrier group with its targeting radar. Forward, be advised. We were painted. Copy. Log the pulse. No response. The Ford did not flinch. No evasive maneuvers. No flares. Just disciplined data collection. Minutes later, the Venezuelans vanished entirely. The Ford maintained course at 20 knots, heading north-northwest. But the story wasn't over. An hour later, Venezuelan state television aired grainy footage claiming the American carrier had retreated. The world saw propaganda. The Navy saw the truth. The Ford never budged. Somewhere in that calm, disciplined silence lies the real power of a carrier strike group. By midday, the incident echoed worldwide. Venezuelan officials hailed a sovereign air patrol. Washington called it unsafe and unprofessional. The truth? Somewhere in between, a tightrope between deterrence and provocation. Inside the Pentagon, analysts replayed every frame. Every maneuver, radio call, and 600-foot pass was logged. Not a calculated attack, but a show of force, a political message written in altitude and afterburners. For naval strategists, this wasn't new. Gray zone tactics test reactions, measure restraint. And the Ford? She didn't blink. Discipline sent a message louder than missiles ever could. Out here, power isn't just technology. Electromagnetic catapults, advanced radar, and fleet-wide sensor networks are impressive. But the true weapon is judgment. In seconds, calm seas can erupt into crisis. One misstep, one reckless pilot, and the world's most advanced warship could be one heartbeat from incident. The Venezuelans tried to provoke. The USS Gerald R. Ford answered in silence, the kind of silence only real power can afford. Because at sea, authority isn't about firing first. It's about timing, control, and restraint. And the Ford demonstrated all three. So here's a question. If you were in that cockpit watching jets dive at your carrier, what would you do? Hold the line, trust the rules, or strike first just to be safe? Drop your answer in the comments. If you made it this far, thanks for watching. Hit like if you learned something, subscribe for more maritime stories, and share this video with anyone who thinks aircraft carriers are just big boats. Want to support the channel directly? Join the fleet for loyalty badges, priority replies, and exclusive insights. The USS Gerald R. Ford proved one thing: you don't need to shout when you're the loudest force on the ocean.